Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So it's only the end of February, and it's already been an incredible year for the Second Amendment. We got an executive order from the president to protect the Second Amendment. We've seen the DOJ move on existing litigation currently in our court systems. We've seen new legislation be introduced in Congress, like the Hearing Protection Act, the Shush Act, National Reciprocity, Constitutional Carry. It has been awesome. Well, now we have a new one from Thomas Massie that could overturn decades-long gun control. So we're going to talk about what he just introduced today. Let's get to it. Now, real quick before we get started, this channel is sponsored by Attorneys on Retainer. If you're somebody who carries to defend yourself or your loved ones, you need a membership to Attorneys on Retainer. There'll be a link down in the description box with some discounts as well. Attorneys on Retainer is like having an attorney in your back pocket. Heaven forbid the worst should actually happen and you have to defend yourself. You give the number on that card a call and you will speak to an actual attorney that will be there to defend you the entire way through. It is the best peace of mind that you could ever have in your wallet. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about this new bill that was just introduced by Representative Massie. It is H.R. 1643. It's got a long and a short title. The long title is Second Amendment for Every Registrable Voter Act. The short title is the Safer Voter Act. So what he is doing with this bill is he is looking to overturn existing federal law through 922C1 that prohibits anybody who is 18, 19, or 20 from purchasing a handgun in the United States. So basically overturning it to allow those people to now fully enjoy their Second Amendment rights instead of having them infringed by the federal government. Okay, so here's a look at the bill right here, and this is hot off the presses. It says to reduce from 21 years of age to 18 years of age the minimum age at which a person may obtain a handgun from an FFL. It also shows our short title there. This act may be cited as the Second Amendment for Every Registrable Voter Act or the Safer Voter Act. Now, this is a pretty short bill. On the second page here, it just describes what they're going to strike from federal law, so in 922B1 and 922C1, and the language that they're going to use to replace it. So basically what they're going to strike is any language in federal law that says that an FFL would not be able to transfer a handgun to anybody under the age of 21, and they're going to replace that with 18. So basically that's what they're going to do there, getting rid of that whole federal ban, you know, the 21 and under ban, or the 20 and under ban. Now, what I find really interesting here is that the FBC actually just won a lawsuit in Reese v. ATF that deals with this exact same matter, where the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals actually found that that 18 to 20-year-old ban is in fact unconstitutional and sent it back down to the lower courts for them to basically fix that. So the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals has already said this is unconstitutional. What Thomas Massie is trying to do here is he's basically trying to codify it into law, right? So that it doesn't come up at any other time. It would now be federal law, and they would have to rewrite federal law yet again in order to change it. But it would be federal law that they could now transfer to anybody that's 18 or older instead of 21 or older. So this is basically a case where the Second Amendment gets treated like a second-class right, which is what we see every single day, right? There's no reason why an 18-year-old wouldn't have their First Amendment rights, or any other right for that matter. But for some reason, when it comes to this specific right, this is the one that seems to be infringed on the most, even though it's the only amendment that I can see in our Bill of Rights that specifically says verbatim shall not be infringed. But that's, again, the one that gets infringed on the most because, well, they just don't like it. So this is really just restoring the rights of people who are legal adults, people who can register to vote, which is kind of why he said Registrable Voters Act, right? So if you're old enough to be able to register to vote, then you're old enough to have every other right as well. And so again, this would simply be codifying that into law, even if the courts say that it is in fact unconstitutional. I would like to see this go even further so that maybe the Supreme Court would say, hey, look, it's unconstitutional, and that would keep any other new administration from trying to pass it back or trying to bring it back. But still, it's nice to see that we got even more going on in Congress right now to restore our Second Amendment rights. So again, this is another one that we need to keep a close eye on. obviously these things take time. They spend forever in committee, and then they come out and they go through different processes, and then they finally go for a vote, and we need to make sure that we get that vote and that we contact our representatives to let them know that we support these things, so that if that vote actually happens, they have a chance of passing and then getting signed by the president. There's still a lot that needs to happen with every single bill that's been introduced this year, but it's exciting to see so much be introduced so fast. So again, I'm really excited about it. Hopefully we're living through the next big golden age for the Second Amendment, and I wanted to share that with you all today. I want to thank you all very, very much for watching. If you haven't done so already, consider hitting that subscribe button. Thumbs ups are always appreciated, and that little alarm bell will let you know, even if they don't want you to know, when new videos come out. Thank you all. Have a good one.